Hi friends, this is Mary from Mom Behind the Computer. Today I am trying for the first time one of these already prepared meal kits, and I wanted to bring you along with me because I've been really curious about these, and I'll tell you a little bit more about them in a moment. But I thought I'd bring you along while I'm making dinner. So first off, before we get started, this is real life. So my little girl is having her own independent playtime over there, and she's watching a show and painting, and I have the dishwasher running. I am making dinner. My husband should be home hopefully right about the time that this dinner gets finished. So you may hear background noise, and you may hear my little girl a little bit. She promised she would be quiet, so if you hear anything in the background, I do apologize, but welcome to real life here at the house. So tonight I am making a dinner from the Prep and Paired meal kits. This is from Kroger, and I did buy this with my own money. This was not sponsored or anything like that, and I've never tried any of the other meal kits that you can get through the mail. I've thought about trying it before, but I've never tried it. And then we recently, my husband started going on a elimination diet, so I'm really not going to try those at this time because it doesn't seem like a good fit. But I did see these in my Kroger, I think the week that he started the elimination diet, and I was like, that looks like the perfect way to sort of try these pre-done meal kits, because I've always thought that they would probably be a really good way to learn different techniques of cooking, and I've always heard really good things about them. But of course, like I said, he's on the elimination diet, so I didn't want to do stuff that he couldn't eat. The last time I was in there, I saw this kit, which was lemon glazed iron steak with roasted vegetables. And I looked on the back, and the ingredients says that it just contains beef, carrots, spinach, cauliflower, lemon, and the only thing that he can't have is butter. So when I was looking at it, I was like, well, you know, with a lemon glazed flat iron steak and roasted vegetables, I'm betting that he can have this and substitute olive oil for the butter if needed. So I went ahead and picked it up. It was retail $20, and then they had 25% off, and I had another discount loaded on my card. So I was like, this is the perfect time to try it. It's something that he can have. I've been wanting to try steak. I've never cooked steak before, and I thought that probably one of the best ways to promise for success is to do one of these kits where they're picking out, you know, a good piece of steak for you and giving you directions on how to cook it. So I'm hoping for that. So I did go ahead and pull out the recipe card when I got home, just to make sure that my husband could have it, and he does. Actually, the only place the butter goes is, as far as I can tell so far, is just to add it to the vegetables after they're cooked. So we are going to go ahead and get started, and I thought I'd bring you guys along with me because maybe you're curious about these, especially since they're in our Kroger. Maybe you're curious about what they are and how they cook up, especially for someone like me who has always been sort of a struggling cook. Like, it's just not something that comes naturally to me. So I thought I'd share with you what I have. First off, I'm going to go ahead and preheat the oven. It looks like I need to preheat the oven to 450. So I am going to do that really quick. Okay. So let's take a look at the ingredients here that comes with it. My understanding from the little bit of research I did about this Prep and Paired is that actually everything is pretty much ready for you. So the spinach is all bagged up. These carrots are already cooked, and this is really nice, I think, especially for starting chef cooks, because things just take a lot longer than what I feel like they should when I'm cutting things, and I'm used to doing that now that we've been doing this elimination diet. But it's nice when you're trying a new recipe not to have to go through that route, if that makes sense. We have cauliflower florets, a lemon. Here's the little butter. I did see these when I opened it up to get the recipe, and I thought, how cute are those? So I'm actually just going to keep those. Little girl and I are not on the elimination diet, so we do eat butter a little bit. And actually, little girl doesn't tend to eat a lot with dinner with us, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cook this. This is for 2 people, but she's 3, so I'm going to give her a little taste of everything that we have, because we tend to try to do that. And then if she doesn't like it, we can make her something else, but typically we just supplement it with things that she does like. So that's what we do. And this is beef flat iron steak. So one thing I love about being able to try something new with this is I would have no idea how to pick out a steak. And even though I don't know if this is like the best steak ever, I wouldn't know. It's really nice to not have that pressure of picking out. That's actually one of the things I really like about the Walmart. I know it's not ideal to do that. You should be able to pick out your own food and things like that, but it just doesn't always happen that I want the stress of trying to feel like I picked the best one. So it looks like what I need to do is heat a medium skillet over high heat, and it looks like we're going to start with the steak. So I'm going to read through these instructions just to make sure I don't miss anything, and then get out what I need and get started on this. So I am making just a couple of adjustments for his diet. First off, of course, we're not going to be using the butter. I don't think we're going to need that anyways. I think that's just to give it some extra flavor, and we are doing pretty good without that in this part of our lives right now. So I'm not going to lie, touching raw meat kind of freaks me out. I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands once, and then I'm going to come back and deal with this just because I feel like it's all over me. It says to pat it dry and put on salt and pepper. Okay, I know I'm going to have to wash my hands again, but it just helps. So it says pat it dry, season with salt and pepper. One thing that I always wonder when it says to season things is, should it season both sides or just one side? I'm just going to do one side, I guess. Maybe I should do both? I'm just going to do one. Okay, so now that we're getting actually to the point where we're going to cook, I'm going to let you guys go for a little bit. I'll come back when I'm done cooking and kind of let you know how the experience was. Okay, so here is what the picture looks like, and this is what my actual plates look like. So not that terrible. I did end up cooking the steak a little more because we typically don't like it as rare as it's suggested. So that's why the presentation isn't quite as pretty. But we will give it a try, and I will let you know after we eat the meal what me and my hubby thought about it. Hi friends, so it is one day later. We actually ended up last night running out to the park and enjoying the really pretty day that was going on, so I didn't get a chance to come back here to tell you guys about the meal. First off, the cooking experience. So I don't feel like this is really good for people who don't feel comfortable giving things a try in the kitchen, which I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of me, but I'm getting over that. And I think that that was one main reason that I was okay with this. A lot of the instructions, I just felt like there should have been a little more explanation for people who don't typically work in the kitchen. So, for example, like, do you need to wash the vegetables or not? Like, are they already washed or not? I assumed that they were, but I went ahead and just rinsed them off. Only because we just have like a crazy E. coli scare and things like that, which washing it off isn't going to take care of that. But nonetheless, just help me feel better. Also, the steak, it ended up, I cooked it just as they said, even a little bit longer until it reached the temperature that they said. But once I let it rest and cut into it, it was just way too rare for us. So I feel like that they could have explained how to better cook it, I guess. But I ended up putting it in the oven, or in the skillet, and searing it again, and it worked out pretty well. So no issues there. So I was a wee bit apprehensive. I also, one other thing I think would have been helpful is if they had said what sort of texture the vegetable should have been at. It was very like a crunchy roast. It wasn't cooked very much at all. It wasn't like fork tender, which is fine. It was good, but it would have just been helpful to know that that's what we were going for. All in all, it was an easy meal to cook. It did have good directions. It just didn't have good like follow through in those directions, I feel like. As far as taste goes, I was really apprehensive because I was like, first off, the steak didn't look right at the beginning. I had to cook it again. I was afraid it was going to be really tough. The vegetables were more crunchy than I would normally cook, etc., etc. And plated up, I was like, I just don't know. It was delicious. It was absolutely delicious. It was the first time I'd ever made steak, and it was wonderful. Very just great flavor, really fresh. Everything just tasted great. I talked to hubby about it, and I normally make him rate meals on a scale of 1 to 10, so I kind of know what he really thinks of it. He said 9.5 on that, which is high honors from him. So it was just really great, and we're definitely going to try to make a meal similar to that again when we see steaks like that on sale. This was a flat iron steak, which neither of us had heard of before, but it was just really, really delicious cut. And really easy to do, honestly. Like, I think now that I've gone through it once, I can make it a lot easier. Another thing that I really liked about this is that it did give me some ideas for really simple ingredients that I'm learning as I'm cooking, that honestly we really like really simple meals overall. I mean, there's some things we like that are more complicated, but these simple meals that we're doing are delicious, and this is a simple way to put things together. So I'm excited to have learned that. So overall, I would recommend it if you are trying something new, but only if you feel comfortable trying something new in the kitchen, and maybe if you have someone, like my hubby is more comfortable in the kitchen, so like I brought him the steaks afterwards and I was like, I think these look pink, but are they too pink? You know, I don't want them too tough for him to swallow, because that's part of why we're doing this elimination diet. And he gave me some suggestions and I seared them again, and they were really good temperature and texture and all of that, but I don't know how I would have felt like on my own. So I definitely would recommend these, especially if you can find them on sale, just to learn a new technique. So next time, you know, I probably wouldn't buy the same one again unless, I don't know, maybe if we were having a date night or something like that and I needed something quick where I didn't have to shop for everything, that would be okay. But it was a good experience, and I definitely would try PrepPared meals again in the future if I saw a good deal and it was something that we could eat, because I do think it was a good experience overall. And it's nice to not have like a subscription or not know what's coming. You know exactly what meal you're getting and what ingredients you're getting, which is helpful as well. So that's my review. Have you tried a PrepPared meal? Please let me know in the comments below. If you'd like more reviews of things that I am trying as a developing cook, please be sure to hit the subscribe box. I will have more in the future. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.